What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily. And I would hate for y'all to miss out on anything. We stay busy on this platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, have I got one for y'all. As you know, I was kind of just sifting through some stuff throughout the, the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, listening to some of my favorite YouTubers. And one thing that I've been seeing circulating in the news cycle is this. I don't know if it was an interview. I don't know if it was an interview or if it was just an article. But anyway, I've seen a lot of people discussing Shaquille O'Neal revealing his all-time starting five. And would you know that Shaquille O'Neal does not have LeBron James in that said starting five? And what I've been seeing outside of, just some of my favorite content creators and just some people in the basketball communities talking about this stuff is a number of LeBron James fans going into full meltdown mode, attacking the legacy of Shaquille O'Neal because he has this starting five, and he dared not include LeBron James. And I just want to say this real quick before I reveal to you the starting five. I mean, if you heard about it already, then I think you would agree with Shaquille's starting five. It's a pretty legitimate starting five. But at the same time, the narrative that the LeBron James fans used to use was that if you didn't play in the NBA, right? And I know if you in my generation, you remember these narratives because they're all about 5 to 10 years old. The LeBron James community has changed the goalpost so many times, it's hard to keep up with these guys. But the original narrative that they used to try to run with is that, if you didn't play in the NBA, you can't have a real opinion on basketball, or a validated opinion, or opinion that was worth listening to. That was the original narrative. And then when NBA players of all statuses and backgrounds, when NBA players start coming out and saying that LeBron James is not the GOAT, and they gave very good substance as to why they felt that way. The new narrative was that these dudes were bums, because originally, I gotta confess, it wasn't a lot of heavyweight, none of the heavyweight guys really speaking out against LeBron James. You would hear from time to time. I think the first dude I seen or I heard speak out against LeBron James was probably Norris Cole. If y'all don't remember Norris Cole, he was a former teammate of LeBron James's. They played on Miami with one another, and Norris Cole was one of the first people that I heard break the fourth wall, if you will, and say that LeBron James is not the greatest thing since sliced bread. From that point, it used to be a plethora of attacks on LeBron James as the LeBron James community moved the goalpost, right? When these role players, not just Norris Cole, I've heard Eddie House, speak his piece. I've heard who else? There's another guy. Damn, I'm sorry, y'all. It was on the top of my head. I don't want to take too long thinking about it. But just a number of literally role players, guys that didn't really have a vested interest. They were no longer in the NBA. All respectfully, they were just giving out interviews to growing platforms. And this was before the podcast boom. Everybody got a podcast now. When these dudes was originally speaking their piece, it was more so like, Eddie House, he would do it on Fox Sports 1. He would just, give his take and move on from there. I also remember, I think Steven Jackson, I want to say it was. I think he also said that, or he might have been pleading the case for Kobe Bryant. But my point is, it was a bunch of role players that originally start coming down and being like, nah, we don't think LeBron James is the GOAT. They all used to say, we think he's, a great player, but we don't think he's the GOAT. And so the new narrative that the LeBron James community would use was that, oh, these guys was bums. Although these guys spent their entire lives, training, working out, improving their skills so that they could be in the NBA. These guys knew what it took, to be in the NBA. And once that, that was a narrative for some time until the NBA legends start coming out and saying, nah, we don't know if LeBron James is, you know what I mean? Well, you had Hakeem Olajuwon. You had John Stockton. You had guys like, who else? And I should have made a list. I should have wrote down, because when I first heard this, and I was just like, well, look at here, another NBA great. We could just use Shaq. We'll use him as number 3. Now you got Shaq out here saying, yeah, you know what I mean? LeBron James is great, and all of that, but I wouldn't incorporate him in my starting 5, my all-time starting 5. And my thing is that, now we've hit a checkmate. Although a lot of these dudes are still attacking Shaq, for his inability to hit free throws and all that kind of stuff. A lot of guys are diminishing Shaq's legacy. Everybody all of a sudden is trying to elevate Kobe, but quiet as kept. Kobe also said that Jordan was the GOAT and LeBron was decent, but not the greatest thing he ever seen. That's what they're doing to Shaq now. But my thing is that we've hit a checkmate with these fools. You know what I mean? They can attack, they can troll all they want, but they can't say that Shaq was a bum. They can't say Shaq, doesn't have a validated opinion. And now that you're getting these NBA greats coming out and saying this stuff, the LeBron James community has been, they've reached a checkmate, and they had to, either accept reality or reject reality. And a lot of these guys, if you've experienced a LeBron James diehard fan, you see in real time how these dudes absolutely reject reality, and so much so they find the facts repulse. These dudes will literally hear you give them a fact. You can give them the Google facts, you can show them in the history books, blah, blah, blah. These dudes will look in your face, omit the facts, and then just come up with something. You know what I mean? The other day I was talking to we was on the post on my Facebook, and we was chopping it up. And, of course, LeBron James came up, and I dropped the fact, and literally, shout out to my guy, Lauren on Facebook. He can be the attest to this. We were talking about LeBron, and we were just bringing up, all right, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And the LeBron James fan, he comes out of nowhere and just starts saying random stuff like, oh, Michael Jordan was 1-9 and 1-9 in the playoffs before Pippen got there. Literally, this is a LeBron James centric post. This is what the Bron sexual does. He starts attacking Michael Jordan, as if attacking Michael Jordan is going to elevate LeBron James in some weird way. But you see it in real time how these dudes absolutely go out of their way to reject history. And I've been kind of talking for a minute. I want to reveal Shaquille O'Neal's starting 5. As Shaquille put himself, Karl Malone, Dr. J, Kobe, and Michael Jordan in his starting 5, which I find as a legitimate starting 5. Michael Jordan at one point in his career played a little point guard, so you can sneak Michael Jordan there. You can put Kobe. Kobe is probably the greatest, purest shooting guard of all time, just as far as a guy that can go out there and play some one-on-one basketball and take over a game. I mean, Jordan had that too, but Kobe was just a different, a different beast. Kobe had a lot of Jordan moves 2.0. And then you got to respect the legend of Dr. J. He was a great, and not just the NBA, but also the ABA, one of the pioneers of the modern day basketball era. And then Karl Malone, that's a bit of a, whatever. Karl Malone is one of the top 5, or I believe I know Kobe's up in there now. Michael Jordan was in the realm. So I believe that Karl Malone is top 5, top 6 scorer of all time. Respectfully, he wasn't no chump at all in his heyday. And again, what can you say about Shaq other than he missed some free throws? I mean, granted, he probably left about 12,000 to 13,000 points in his 20-year career. I believe he left a lot of points on that free throw line. But, other than that, Shaq was probably the most dominant force, arguably, that ever came through the NBA. And so I'm liking that starting 5. I'll be hard-pressed to see a starting 5 go up against that and win. But the LeBron James fans can't stand it. They hate it. And it's to the point where it's like I say, they just attacking Shaq's legacy at this point. They don't really have anything of substance to say, but they're just blatantly a different type of people, man. They just blatantly a different type of people. And I'm just saying all that to say, at this point, I used to go to war with the LeBron James fans. I did. Spent many a man hours arguing these fools down. I am proud to say that I've converted a few LeBron James fans into being real basketball fans. They're not all lost causes, which is why I still do what I do as far as exposing the truth about LeBron James. Because there's some people out there that's on the fence. They think LeBron James is the GOAT because of peer pressure. You know what I mean? Or because they're younger, they don't know anything else. But it's okay. All right, guys, it's okay to have a starting 5 or a favorite player and it not be LeBron James. I know that sounds crazy to a LeBron James fan, but it's okay. And what validates that is you have an NBA all-time great on everybody's list. I don't think you could talk about the greatest centers of all time, go through that list, go down that list too far before you see Shaquille O'Neal's name. But you got an NBA great also stating the same stuff. A guy like me who ain't never played in the NBA. Shaq is saying the same thing now that I said 20 years ago. Yeah, Bron is decent, but you know what I mean? I've seen much better. I've seen a lot of guys that was much better than LeBron James. And respectfully, I think that he's only still playing all these years later because he knows that as well, that there's still a lot of guys in the NBA history and NBA lore that have, very much so higher profiles than his. And LeBron James has a full-time propaganda machine behind him, pushing lies all day and night. Excuse me, pushing lies all day and night, to try to fool the people. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's trying to fool y'all, trying to manipulate your minds. But again, here's an NBA, another NBA great, reiterating points I've been making for years. And you know what the LeBron James fans call me? They call me a hater. They say, well, that's pretty much their number one thing. Hater, respectfully, they don't really go crazy like some other fan bases. They just have an obsession with LeBron James. But, I've been deemed as a LeBron James hater, and it's not even that. I'm just a basketball fan. I'm just a historian when it comes to these things. And I know, again, that I can pull up other guys' resumes, highlights, all that kind of stuff, and it would be worlds more better than LeBron James's. Not taking anything away from LeBron James. LeBron is just is what he is. You know what I mean? He's a what do you call it? A product of Nike and propaganda. A lot of the stuff that y'all believe about LeBron James was just Nike and ESPN colluded lies that they just tell you all day, every night. And if you have any knowledge of marketing and propaganda, you would know that the number one rule in propaganda is to keep telling a lie until it becomes the truth. And it don't necessarily become the truth, but you just keep telling the lie until people think it's the truth. And that is exactly where we are in NBA history right now. But then you have these glitches in the matrix, like me, Shaquille O'Neal, Dreamers Pro, Man Down Sports, Sports T, um, my guy Marlon knows basketball and boxing. You get us guys as well as Dreamers Pro, Ticket TV, 78 Sports, all of these people, man, on the ground level, and then when you include the guys at the upper level, you know what I mean, the mainstream guys. All of us are just telling the unadulterated truth, man. And I know it's hard for people that whose eyes, if your eyes never seen light, you ever been asleep in your room and it is pitch black dark, and then somebody just come in there and pop on the light switch, and your lights all bright. It's like, dang, if you was in a good snooze, those bright lights gonna kind of shock you at first. You're gonna probably even hurt your eyes, and so. I know when we reveal the truth to y'all been asleep so long in the pitch black darkness that when I come in the room and turn on the light, it's like, yeah, your eyes start burning. But it's just temporary pain. And once you open your eyes and you get all of the boogers out your eyes, you'll be able to see around the room and you'll be able to see clearly. And that's just because I did one small act of turning on the light switch. But kudos to Shaquille O'Neal as he, again, his starting five. I know I rambled a little bit to begin this, but I got to always break it down when it comes to the LeBron James community, bro. You have to. You got to be thorough with these people. I'm going to let y'all know. As a guy that's been battling, going to war with these clowns for 22 plus years, you got to be thorough with LeBron James fans. That's the only way I've been able to convert the few of them that I have been able to convert is that, I just kind of walk them down slowly. You know what I mean? We started in 2003. I showed that this dude didn't even make the playoffs his first 2 years. Michael Jordan, as much as they like to try to say LeBron James is better than him, Michael Jordan as a Chicago Bull never missed the playoffs. Not his rookie year, not his sophomore year, none of them. Michael Jordan literally came back in his sophomore, I believe his second or third year, off a foot injury, played the last 20 games or so, and had to, go to war to get his team into the playoffs. And that's exactly what he did. Never at 1 year as not 1 year that Michael Jordan wore a Chicago Bulls NBA jersey did he miss the postseason. And then we start there, because a lot of bronzexuals, they have no understanding of no appreciation, or a lot of them just don't have any knowledge of basketball history. Once you start them there, they get the, okay. And then you take them on to the rookie year comparisons. As LeBron James put up, like 20 points a game? Michael Jordan put up 28 points a game as a rookie. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the least Michael Jordan ever averaged in his career. You know what I mean? He never averaged less than 30 after that, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, again, kudos to Shaquille O'Neal, for just saying stuff that I've been saying for years. And his starting five is legit to me. Maybe I would swap out Dr. J and Karl Malone, but, even with those two included, that's a pretty solid five. Once again, Shaquille O'Neal at the 5, Karl Malone at the 4, Dr. J at the 3, Kobe at the 2, and Michael Jordan at the point. That's how Shaq had it designed. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to know what y'all got to say about these topics, man. I definitely appreciate the love and support. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.